All right, guys. This is a really tiny part of graphing, and it's an introduction for my pre-algebra, introductory algebra students. And basically, all this portion of your curriculum or your syllabus is going to teach you how to plot points. But let's first understand what a rectangular coordinate system looks like before we plot points. So first we got to understand that there's a y-axis, which is a vertical line, and it's also called a fancy word. I think it's called the ordinate. Don't quote me on that, but I'm sure I'm correct. Well, sounds anyway. And then there is the x-axis, which is called the abscissa. And in the center, so you create a T. It's a rectangular coordinate system because you can see you create this T. And if you were to draw a line around this T chart here, this T, you'll get a rectangle. So in the center of this rectangular coordinate system is an origin. It's called the origin. And it's made up of four quadrants. So they're going in a anti-clockwise direction. We start with quadrant 1, quadrant 2, 3, and 4. So what you need to know is that in each quadrant, there's a point or ordered pair that is x, y. So there are points all along these quadrants, all over. You can get points, create different graphs, straight lines, parabolas, exponential lines, and things, and you'll learn that in the future. But for now, we're just going to learn to plot points a simple way. So each point has an x and y, and it's important to know that the origin, which is like the center of your coordinate system, has the coordinate point 0, 0. All right. So your first point on your in your coordinate system is usually an x value, and your second point is usually a y value. So it's always a pair x, y. And those pairs can range from either being negative values or positive values. So how you know if the value is negative or positive? So any value is to the right of the x-axis is going to be positive, or if it's going up in the y direction, it's going to be positive. So right and up are positive values. Okay, so obviously the opposite will be the opposite in terms of sign too. So that means left or down is going to be negative values. As you can see, negative values left, negative values down. All right. So this is basically, you can always review the videos to see how this works in terms of values, which is left, which is left, which is right, and up and down. Okay, x and y. So know that your points are always starting from the x axis and then going in the y direction. So let's see what that looks like in person. So let's say, for example, we have a rectangular coordinate system that we've labeled not to scale, right? Just like a estimate. Let's say we wanted to plot the point 1, 2. So here is saying that my x is a positive 1 and my y is a positive 2. So you always start x. So you always start x, right? So that means from origin, go left or right. And that depends on sign, right? So my x is positive. So from the origin, I'm going to go to the right one place, right? So from x, right? So you have to know that from x, right? Notice I'm not going back to the origin. I'm starting from x, go up or down to the y point, depending on sign, right? Of the value or the digit given, right? So for my x value, from the origin, I went to the right because it's positive 1. And now from y, I'm going to go up or down. And since my y is a positive 2, that means I'm going to go up from the 1. I'm going to go up 2 places. So this is my first point, 1, 2. So let's say I want to plot another point. Let's say I want to plot negative 2, 1, right? So from the origin, I'm going to go where? Right, that's right. All values left is negative. So from origin, I'm going to go 1, 2, right? 1, 2. And then from the x, where am I going to go? So I'm going to go up 1, right? Because my y is positive. That's my x, that's my y. So this here is my point, negative 2, 1, right? That's my x, that's my y. Let's say I wanted to point 0, negative 3. So my x is 0, so that means my x is starting somewhere at the origin, which is just right here. And then my y is negative 3. So remember, my down values are negative. Negative values going down. So I'm going to go down 3 places. So my point here is right here. This is my point, 0, negative 3. Let's say I want to plot negative 5, 2. All right. So that means from the origin, I'm going to go 5 places to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to go up 2 places because that's my y. My x is negative. My y is positive. So from x, I'm going to go up 1, 2. So this is my point, negative 5, 2. Let's say I want to plot another point. Let's say I want to plot positive 2, 0. Positive 2, 0. So 2, 0, where my x is the value 2, positive 2, and my y is 0. So I'm going to start from the origin to positive 2, and then it says 0. 0 just simply means stay put, right? I can't go any way up or down, just stay right here, right here. And you're going to learn in the future that these points, if you're plotting these points for a line, they're called intercepts. All right, so my x is 2, my y is 0. So if you notice, I don't go anywhere x when it's 0, 3. Remember when we had that point 0, 3? So it means I don't go anywhere. I started the origin. I don't go anywhere. It's at 0. And then I go down. And here I started at 2 when my point was 2, 0. I started here and then I can't go anywhere. So basically, let's just plot one more point. Let's say I want to plot negative 1, negative 1. So it means I go to the left. That's my x. That's my y. I go to the left 1 places, and then from y, I go down 1, boom. So that's my negative 1, negative 1. All right, and that's it for the rectangular coordinate system at the pre-algebra, introductory algebra level.